What's up guys, Luke here with Luke's Points and Miles, and today I have another episode of Maximum Value Redemptions. I've been thinking a lot lately of doing a bit of solo traveling. I have traveled just a little bit solo, and I think there are some valuable benefits to it. My schedule would be completely free, and I'm likely to get some work done between adventures. Now, the last time I planned a solo trip, it was Japan, and at the time, Japan would not let regular tourists enter the country, so that one was canceled. I also realized that doing Tokyo solo was likely a bit ambitious. I think there could be easier countries to visit, but I will still get to Japan one day. So after a lot of scrolling, I came across a YouTube video from a channel called Bald and Bankrupt. If you aren't familiar, it's a very unique travel channel, and the creator travels all over the world and especially Eastern Europe with a mini camera and has all sorts of priceless interactions with the locals. While I don't think I'll ever be a vlogger capable of things like that, it did give me an idea of just setting out solo, packing light, and just visiting somewhere I've never been and immerse myself with the culture and the people there. Where would that be? Well, I think that part is just as important as the solo part. I think it should be a random place that I've never visited and a place that's not on any list I want to take my family. And then I find a video of Mr. Bald and Bankrupt himself in Prague. Now, don't get all uptight if I say the country wrong. I feel like this country has changed names a few times since I've been on the planet. Right now, I see it referred to as Prague, Czech Republic, and Prague, Czechia. It's likely one of those. Why not do it? I took a few minutes and found a fairly decent way to get there, and I want to share that with you today. But first, if you are new to the channel, I talk about credit cards, points, miles, cashback, and travel. If you're interested in that sort of thing, subscribe to the channel. Also, I want to remind you that elite members get early access to this series. If you would like to support the channel, you can become an elite member for just $2.99 a month, and you'll receive special shout outs, priority replies in the comments, and as stated before, early access to the Maximum Value Redemption series. For more info, click the join button below the screen. With all that out of the way, let's get started. So far, we've decided we want a solo mission to Prague. So what do we know about the Czech Republic? Well, geographically speaking, we're looking east of Germany. And yes, this was formerly Czechoslovakia, a Soviet state during the Cold War. That's pretty cool and that's pretty interesting. But this is now, and Prague is the fifth most visited city in Europe. And people visit Prague because of its incredible architecture, castles, and chateaus. Prague is the largest city in the Czech Republic, and since this is not a geography channel, we are going to skip right to the part where we talk about how we're getting there and where we're going to stay. That's why we're all here, right? Using Google Flights, I can find some very inexpensive airfare with TAP Air Portugal, but you have to remember, I have to reposition with most itineraries, so let me take a moment to let you know exactly what I'm looking for. As I said, I need to reposition, so I already need to fly from Columbus to a larger international airport. That's not normally a huge deal, but what I don't want is several connections, and I don't want to spend 30+ hours traveling. Remember, I'm a dad and a husband, so I'm not able to spend large amounts of time away from home. Plus, this is just a quick solo journey anyway, so I'm going to be looking for, number one, a quick way to get there, number two, an economical way to get there. I'm solo. I don't want to break the bank on myself because I have other priorities. Plus, like I said earlier, this is a quick travel light excursion. The only direct flight from the US to Prague that makes sense to me is the JFK to Prague on Delta. And this flight is $2,300, but it's also a fraction of the travel time relative to the other more inexpensive options. So let's check that out. I don't really want to fly Delta in economy long haul. I'd rather try an international carrier for something like that. But then again, this one fits the theme, and I think it'll give maximum value. Obviously, we aren't paying $2,300 to fly economy on Delta Metal, right? So we'll just use our Delta Sky Miles, and that should do it. Whoa, 172,000 Delta Sky Miles seems like a lot, plus 53 bucks. Let's take a moment to calculate that value. $2,300 or 172,000 Sky Miles plus $53 makes those Sky Miles worth a surprising 1.3 cents per point. Now, I'm actually shocked because that is not a bad value at all for Sky Miles. But obviously, I think we can do better. In this redemption, we're going to use Virgin Atlantic miles. Now, I will interchangeably use the term miles and points, so don't sue me. Before we do that, let's talk about how we can acquire Virgin miles. Well, we could use a Virgin Atlantic credit card or fly Virgin Atlantic flights, but we're in luck. They are a transfer partner of all 4 major credit card issuers and also Bilt Rewards and Marriott. That means you can transfer your rewards from Bilt, Capital One, Chase Ultimate Rewards, Citi Thank You Points, or American Express Membership Rewards Points. And the points I'm using were transferred over with a 30% bonus. I'm not going to include that in our final calculations, but I did want to mention it here. Since I'm currently working with a surplus of Virgin Atlantic points, it only makes sense that I check there, so let's have a look. When we go to the Virgin site, we search for flights from JFK to Prague, and we actually find some good options. Our option listed here is for Air France, and it connects in Paris. Now, there are 2 things I don't like about this one. One, I already stated I don't want that connection, especially on an overnight flight. It makes a tough travel day, but it looks like the return trip is a direct Delta flight. So we'll keep that one filed away. And remember, this one is 46,000 Virgin points and $207. Let's take a look at this other direct flight with Delta. The Delta flight is going to give us the flight we actually prefer, but this price is different. 60,000 Virgin points and just $53. Well, it looks like we have what I call a fantastic problem, and it's always good to have options, right? I can't debate the quality of Air France economy versus Delta economy, so I'll rely on the comments from you guys with the experience. We do have the math, and when you are poor like me, sometimes the math matters. First off, the Air France flight to Prague connecting in Paris. Both flights have the same direct Delta return flight, so that's a wash. This one is 46,000 Virgin miles and $207 round trip. Wow, that sounds good. We will use the same price because I don't see a cash price listed on Virgin. This price might be abnormally high and kind of skew these values, but it is the price and it's what I'm going to use today. So $2,300 or 46,000 Virgin Atlantic miles and $207 comes out to 4.5 cents per point. That is not bad at all, but we're still coming out of pocket over $200 and we still have that connection. Moving over to the Delta route, cash price $2,300 or 60,000 Virgin miles and $53. This one comes out to 3.75 cents per point. So that really leaves us with a choice. The Air France flight has some positives. It's a higher value redemption. We work really hard to earn those points, so I love to get my money's worth out of them. Air France is likely going to be a better hard product than Delta, and I'm speculating with that. I also want to mention that although we don't want to spend time connecting, we are flying economy, so it is less time in the air at one time. I'm not sure if that's a positive or a negative. The negatives, it's a longer travel day. How much longer? The Delta flight is 8 hours, 25 minutes to get to Prague. The Air France option comes in at 11 hours, 45 minutes. Is that a huge amount of time? Well, it depends on how you value your time. Could be. Another negative is this. We need $207. I better make a whole bunch of videos if I'm going to be able to spend $207 for flights. As for the Delta flight, we've talked about the positives. Saves time, it's a direct route, less cash. Negatives, it costs more points and we're getting less value from those points. That is a pretty big factor to me. 4.5 to 3.75 is a lot in my opinion. It probably is to you guys as well, since everyone seems to think the Hyatt 2 cents per point is so astronomical. That's a joke. We love Hyatt. Please let me know in the comments, which deal would you take? I'm actually leaning towards Air France because even though I don't want the connection, it's not much more time and I won't have anyone with me that I have to accommodate or make happy. It's just me. I won't get too in depth with our hotel options, but I will tell you the values with the two hotels that I chose. The Hilton Prague Old Town is 200,000 Hilton Honors Points for the 4 nights we'll be there. That is at a cash price of $1,441 for a value of around 0.7 cents per point. I don't think I would be too interested in that redemption, but I do want to remind everyone that that is much higher than the 0.5 cents per point that everyone seems to publish on the interwebs. Next option, we have the Andaz, which I'm quite sure is the better hotel. For 84,000 Hyatt points for the 4 nights we're there, that cash price would be $2,231, giving those Hyatt points an incredible 2.6 cents per point valuation. Hyatt for the win on this one, for sure. That is all I have for you today. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. Not every redemption is going to be first class, 10 cents per point, but this one definitely seems like a really cool option in my book. And I want you guys to remember to check out my links in the description, especially the credit card referrals. And guys, if you have stayed around all the way to the end, I appreciate you and I thank every single one of you.